Sunday wind down, either with the voice on the speaker, Sunny on the mic and it's all round. Conversations are bigger, so fill my cup, fill my cup. I'm already tuned in all the way up, all the way up. Can't stop listening now.
Hey guys, Sunday wind down.
Yes, you know I'm listening.
Welcome, don't forget to share. We're about to join you today with a very special guest by name McKenna. It's your girl Advocacy with the one and only DJ Sandy. Cease to be. Yes, you know I'm listening.
I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay. Sunday wind down, either with the voice on the speaker, Sunny on the mic and it's all round. Conversations are bigger, so fill my cup, fill my cup. I'm already tuned in all the way up, all the way up. Can't stop listening now. Sunday wind down, yes you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening, yes you know I'm listening. Sunday wind down, yes you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening, yes you know I'm listening, yeah. I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay. Working from Monday to Sunday, 7 o'clock till I'm worn out. Hustle, I can make an anthem. Give me a break, let me walk out. Trying my best to stay sober all over the weekend. I know grass is only greener when you water. So after the grind I go. Sunday wind down, yes you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening, yes you know I'm listening, yeah. I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay, Sunday wind down, baby. I'm okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the Sunday Wind Down podcast.
Yes.
I go by the name of DJ Sunny Tuki.
And I'm yours truly, Advocacy. This is a Sunday wind down, episode 8, season 3, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, this is the podcast where we talk about real issues.
We learn from each other.
Yes, and we laugh.
We laugh
a
a little.
Yeah.
Sometimes we drink wine.
And sometimes we drink whiskey.
Cheers.
Welcome. This is the podcast where you come to listen, learn, teach, and
Laugh.
unwind. Laugh and unwind, you know. Kabla Monday kuja tena. Don't forget to tag and share. Invite your friends. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to learn from you. And I hope you learn something from us and our guest speaker today. As you already can see, we're talking about Pride Month.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I tried to get into vibe, you know. I tried to look for something in my wardrobe that is looking happy and pridey. And I found this.
Yeah, I don't have anything in my wardrobe.
It's not too bad.
It's colorful.
Yeah,
it's
pridey and
Shout
happy.
out hippie wear. Now, real quick, I want to thank all of you tuned in right now. Big shout out to our number one fan right now, Akinia Boge.
Yes.
Hey, you must have an alarm set for when we go
I think
live.
she has her notifications on. We go live. Boop, boop.
Anakwanga wa kwanza. So
We
big
really
shout
appreciate
out to
you.
Shout out to all. Linda Stewart from Motomoto Kitchen is in the building. Godo Juguna is in here. So guys, definitely do share with your friends if you think anyone would benefit or would just like to have a good conversation, a good discussion. That's what we're here for.
Yes.
And today we're talking about a lot of letters, huh?
I know. Well, we'll start with just Pride Month. You know, all this time, even before we get into the letters, because I know it's a lot of them and they may be confusing to you if you're not aware or don't know how to maneuver in this topic. That's why we're here today. I did not know that pride in itself was an acronym. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah.
I was really looking for why is it called pride, and I
Yeah.
really couldn't find any. I didn't know it was an acronym. I really did.
Yeah, well, I learned that it was an acronym today, and it actually stands for Personal Rights in Defense and Education. And it's an organization that was started in 1966.
It makes me wonder, like, is it one of those things that, because I saw something else earlier where pride, it's like, because people are proud to be who they are, and that's why it's called pride.
And you would think that, right?
Yeah.
Until you like read and dive deep into it. Like, it's like, oh, you know, because this LGBTQ community is a community that, you know, I mean, it's not normal for us to be this happy. Even you, wherever you are, you know, you're not just normal, like happy and proud of who you are. But this community has taught us pride in a different way, like just accepting yourself and loving yourself for who you are. And I would see why you'd think they're called pride just because of that.
Yeah, and it makes me think, did the meanings of each letter come to be after, or did the acronym come before? But I don't know, and I'm just digging too deep.
Yeah, it's okay. We're learning slowly today. But I see Ali Badawi is like, Kwani, I'm not your number one fan. Hi, Ali Badawi. It's good to see you. We've missed you over here. I saw Pablo Zengu in the building as well. And we are so happy to see you guys. We missed you. I know we had supposed to have an episode last Sunday, but you know, life happened.
Yep. And so as we are diving deeper into pride, the other thing I came to realize, like I didn't know that there was an acronym for pride, is the flag, the pride flag. I just found out this morning that all the colors on the flag actually symbolize something.
Whoa, no way.
And I didn't know that. I thought it was just a flag with a bunch of colors. Like you could just take a bunch of colors, regardless of what colors they are, and throw them on, and it would be a pride flag. That's me and my arrogance. That's what I thought. Did you know each color stood for something?
No, honestly, I wouldn't front. I did not know. I knew there was a flag, right? But like, I didn't know that every color symbolized something.
So I came to find out, hot pink. There's 8 colors on the flag. There's 2 variations of the flag actually. There's one with 8 colors and one with 6. And true story, the reason why they came up with the 6-color flag is because of trying to get those colors right on fabrics was challenging. So they came up with a 6-color flag.
Wow, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah. But the 8 colors are hot pink for sexuality, red for life, orange for healing, yellow for sun, green for nature, blue for art, indigo for harmony, and violet for spirit. And here I was thinking it's just because people in that community are typically very flamboyant and colorful.
Yeah.
That it was just a bunch of colors thrown together.
That's good. I'm glad that you learned that I learned that today. And that our audience, like Akini said, whoa, I didn't even know it was an acronym as well. So it's kind of nice that we get to learn these things together. But like we said, we are going to have one of our very special guests, a really good friend of mine. I've known her for over 10 years, almost 12, a lot of years.
Yeah.
I've known her. But I'd like for her to come on and introduce herself and tell you about this amazing network that she's just started. It's her new baby. And none other than McKenna. We'll have her here shortly, and then she'll go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, we'll have her here. She's in Kenya, so it gets a little challenging when we have guests from Kenya because of the time difference, but I do appreciate it every time we do because it's a lot of effort on their part to come on.
This is true.
Did you know when this pride, like the history of the pride movement in the US?
You know, it's funny. I was reading about that, Sunny, and I found out that it wasn't even just, you know how people do the pride parade? It wasn't initially a parade. It was actually a riot. And it was called the Stonewall riot because so in New York, this is in 1969. In New York, they used to have a bar where LGBTQ community would come in, hang out, be free to be themselves. You know what I mean? Like they would not, like, you know, it was still illegal. They would not go outside and hold each other. They would not hug, would not kiss, would not even be allowed to dance. And I don't know, the dancing part would have been for everybody, like outside, you're not supposed to dance. So this Stonewall pub, it was actually called Stonewall Inn in New York. They would go there and just be free to be themselves, you know? And so this one time, there was police, the police came and what do you call it when they bombard you? They bombarded them.
They came.
They
and
came,
bombarded.
wakakutwo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking for that English word it's portraying. So the police came and they were like, boom, and you know, they hurt a lot of people, arrested a lot of people, and so the LGBTQ community started retaliating. They were like, we're just being who we are. Like, what's your problem? So that's the beginning of the first parade. What you now call a parade initially was a riot. And the riot became very, very popular in LA, New York, and San Francisco. And a year after, so 1970, they did like an anniversary of when we started fighting for our rights. And it became very popular, but not until 2019 did they register the largest number of attendance in all parades. And in Manhattan alone, they registered a total number of 5 million people who showed up for the parade.
Wow.
I know.
Now,
it's mind-blowing.
That whole someone just said in on the comments,
Police
it's a
raid.
police raid.
Thank you.
So thank you for
English.
correcting us. There's an interesting comment here by Judy Kiagiri. She says there was a redesign of the flag in 2018 to include brown and black
Nice.
to represent people of color. Good thing. I did
Nice.
not know that.
I did not know that
So I appreciate that bit of information.
Wow.
Now, this is something that growing up, I was not aware that it existed. Growing up, especially in Kenya. So, do you have a first memory of encountering either a gay person or a bisexual or a lesbian or anything like that?
No, actually. So when I was in high school, I went to an all-girls high school. I remember people being suspended because there was suspicion that they were sleeping together. But that's as much as I knew. Like,
yeah.
And I imagine just because I have been this person for the longest time. I've been loud at myself. I'm like, hey, even I was suspended because I was a suspect of being in that group. And I just saw I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
People around were like, I know Nani was there. Nani was, high school. They just throw your name in there. But, and again, if you are watching, and I know there's pronouns to this, would like to get into that later. I know there's people who identify as they and them, he, she. I know that, and we are going to get into that. We don't want to jump the gun. We're jumping the gun or the sheep?
The sheep.
Okay.
And
the gun, we are jumping. We don't want to go too far. We want us to be educated slowly, like step by step. Because quite honestly, we may think people know, but people don't know. It's not because they're ignorant. They've never had a chance to learn, and we're trying to open this as an opportunity for you out there if you're willing to learn. It's not, you don't know about it just because you don't know, and that's why we're here.
My first experience, honestly, was I was probably 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a Shell petrol station in Nakuru.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this very
Gas station.
Yeah. I was at a Shell, and I was in the car, and someone in the car pointed out to me and said, you see those two people over there? They're not women. They're men dressed in women's clothes. And I was like, no way. And then I paid more attention to their features, like facial features and hands and legs and arms. And I was like, oh, wow, you're right. Those are two men dressed as women, very comfortable in their skin. And this is years back.
This is in Eldoret, and you're a teenager.
I was in Nakuru.
Oh, in Nakuru,
Yeah,
and you're a teenager.
Yeah, stop doing the math.
I mean, and you have not been a teenager for a very long time. So we know that's a really long time ago.
Yeah.
And for them to come out and dress the way they wanted in that time, wasn't that amazing? Because I know in Africa, people treat this like a taboo.
Yeah.
Which is we'll get into it anyways. But
so like for me, that was such a out of normal thing. Like, why would someone do that? And obviously we were not exposed to this. So growing up, even when I first moved to the US, you start seeing more and more people who are either transgender or who are homosexual, gay, lesbian, whatever, different identities and sexualities that they end up having. And honestly, I think a good part of my few years in the USA, I would probably consider myself homophobic.
Oh wow, that's why. Just because you didn't know about it?
I was not exposed to it. I was not comfortable with it. I didn't realize, maybe I did, but I didn't want to realize that these are human beings. They have a right to identify how they want to identify.
But saying that you're homophobic
I was
is big.
like, honestly, if I had a client at work and they were openly, clearly gay, very, very, feminine-ish, and as a man, and dressed as a woman, and I would refuse to help them.
Aye.
True story. I don't now.
I don't know how to react.
No, but it's just because coming here from Kenya and never having
It's new. It was
it's
new
very
to you.
new. It's very, and I think that's a thing that happens a lot with especially men, and that's maybe men who grew up in Africa. Maybe it's a more universal thing, but just keeping it out there and being very open. I
Yeah.
was not open to that.
And Sunny, I really appreciate your honesty, because let's see. In fact, let's ask the men in our comments. I see Kina Ali Badawi. Tell us, Akina
Pablo.
Thomas Kimani. Tell us how. Even David Gatera, you're here. Hi, how you doing? Tell us how you guys felt when you moved here about that. But quite honestly, for women, I feel like it's easier for us to, like, for example, if you see two women kissing, it's kind of romantic. It's like, oh, a turn on. But if two men were found kissing, it would be the opposite of this reaction.
Right.
So I truly understand where you're coming from. And without further ado, as we wait for you guys to give us your comments and everything, we will be getting boss. Her network is called Bold Network Kenya.
Africa.
Oh, Africa. I said Kenya.
Yeah.
And
Africa.
You'll be seeing McKenna on your screens here in just a second.
So I was just wondering, did anyone say anything about their experience? Oh, Akinyi says, DJ Sunny, thank you for being so honest. But it's true, because some people may not say that there was this.
It's true.
What is it? There was this. What's the word I'm looking for?
Homophobic
or
not
not knowing or ignorant along these subjects. But I truly was, and I truly was like, I couldn't. I would not associate it. I would not associate myself with any one part of the LGBTQ community. But as I've gotten older and I've gotten to meet people and actually got to know people in the community and realize, oh, it's just a person. It's just that they have a different preference.
Correct.
Or they identify differently. But at the end of the day, it's not an alien. Or the person is. It's just a normal person.
I feel you, because Judy Kiageri said, we hate or fear what we don't know or understand. And I think that's the best way to put it. You didn't know, so you are like, what is this? Which is true. It's in every aspect of life.
Anyway, we have McKenna tuning in all the way from Kenya, and we're going to get her. I think by mistake I already got her on the screen earlier, but we're going to get her on the screen now. And hey, McKenna, can you hear us?
Hey, what's up, guys? I can hear you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
For sure, it's an honor for me, of course, to be here and just to constantly have these kind of conversations. Especially that it's Pride Month, so happy Pride.
Happy
Oh, look at you! You got a drink too. Cheers.
Cheers. Ulpata memo, ulikuja prepared. Paka pombe.
Heavy. I'm here with the scotch.
As am I. Thank you for being on my team.
Can't hide money. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm going to give a brief background of our relationship and how we met. Me and McKenna started acting Heartstrings Kenya. We
Yes, sir.
We were so young. That's where we met. Do you remember? I just remembered this actually like a second ago. I was doing your makeup for your first Kalasha when I think you had won an award or something, invited guests, but I did your makeup for your first Kalasha. Kuchora eyebrows. I remember those days. Oh my goodness, it's been.
I still have that picture that went up on the newspaper. That's the first time I was ever on the newspaper for the Kalasha with all my makeup done and all that.
I know.
And all that. So I remember it very well. I remember our stage days acting on that, and you're looking at the pictures when they're posted these days. I'm just like, yo, we did it.
I know. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. It's just such an honor to see you grow into who you've become. I know we've had this conversation before, but when we started being like where we were and where we are now, I mean, it's just been God's grace and growth. When you look back, it's just been amazing. And I am so proud of you and who you've become and what you do. Let me just throw in there that you also work for. Is it BBC? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Actually, me and McKenna actually go way back as well, like 10 minutes back.
Yes, please tell them.
Yeah, yeah, like 10, like maybe actually 30 minutes ago, I did a test call with McKenna, and we've really connected since. I'm feeling left out, so I figured
We can talk about that. We can talk about that. Don't worry, Sunny.
You want to tell us a little bit about your work background?
Oh yeah. So of course, having studied film and theater arts, I went into journalism right after school. So did a lot of acting, of course, on stage, off stage. Did a lot of Tahiti High when Ida was doing a lot of
Oh
mother-in-law,
my God, that's
and
true.
then and then after
about
that,
that.
worked for Nation Media Group. Then after Nation Media Group, worked for the BBC. And after the BBC, of course, just a few months ago, decided to just start my own company.
Yeah.
Something that I've been thinking about for quite some time. So Bold Network Africa was formed, and so now I'm CEO and founder of Bold Network Africa.
So proud of you, girl. Oh, or just so proud of you. I know. We're getting into that. I know. I've had people right now this minute as I was on live, and I was talking about McKenna, and I kept saying, so me and her go way back. Me and McKenna, she and I, right? And somebody messaged me and like, by the way, McKenna identifies as. So would you like to tell the audience and the people watching who don't really know you, how do you identify?
Oh, by pronouns. My pronouns.
Pronouns, yeah.
They, them.
They, them.
So they, them. So I'm non-binary.
Nice.
Pretty much, I usually like to say when I try and explain it is, I think gender has been used to make people go through a lot of hate crimes, a lot of discrimination, even on women, men as well. So for me, when I think about it, I'm just like, every single time we put a lot of relevance to gender, you constantly end up locking some other people out. So for me, it's really a non-issue. So for me, they, them work. So non-binary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And, forgive me because I know I may say, so she, that, I mean, no harm. It's new. And that's what we're talking to our audience and telling them, I know you don't know these things. It's new to you. But we were talking with Sunny and we're like, it's really true. You don't want, about to be a little out there, but like the sexual part that you are born with does not need to dictate your entire life. And I get that. And I know we all have to wrap our minds around it. So in case my tongue slips and I say she, he, they, forgive me, I will get into it.
Yeah, and
That's fine. That's fine.
That's part of what I've realized too is I've come to realize that I have a lot of ignorance when it comes to this subject, right? And I think a lot of people are that way. That and the fact that we are together trying to learn more, trying to accept more, and trying to understand, I think is one of the first steps into humanity in general.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. So tell us about yourself a little bit. Tell us how do you identify? Tell us about your journey in this community. Starting, just give us some background on your ventures into
coming out.
Yeah. So let me first start by talking about my organization. So Bold Network Africa is an organization that, like I said, thought about it for so many years, like 2 years in, and I just constantly felt like there's something that I wanted to do. And of course, this came about after I was outed in public. Waking up one morning and you find your entire car spray painted and you're trending on number one on Twitter for almost 2-3 months, and everybody's just talking about, oh yeah, gay journalists, gay BBC journalists. It was horrific for me. Of course, I already knew my truth, but I was living it in the way that I wanted to live it at that particular point.
Right.
And waking up and finding, everybody has just exposed you and you're out there was painful. And of course, from that experience of pain, having gone through the heavy cyberbullying, the alienation from friends and some family members, like I usually say, just constantly made me understand that journey for me was painful, and I didn't want anybody else to have to go through that. And if there's something that I can be able to do to be able to help people in the queer community like myself in Africa, just to help it, accelerate acceptance, just like you guys say, there's a lot of ignorance. People just do not want to really, really think about what is it that queer people actually go through.
Right.
And of course in the continent it's even worse. So I decided to start Bold Network Africa to be able to combine what I love doing, which is storytelling, films, documentaries, and now to be able to tell stories of queer people in Africa with the decency that they deserve. Because so many times it's other people who are telling our stories through their own eyes, but yet we are here, we're present, and it's possible for us to tell our stories and not only to look at gay people from a sexuality point of view. Gay people are more than, sexuality. So stop hypersexualizing gay people. They
Right.
have things that they do. They're lawyers, they're doctors, they're
Yes.
journalists. They are movers and shakers in everything that they do. So for me, of course, Bold Network Africa is something that became very, very important that I wanted to do. And of course, at that particular point, just crafting it, the story of crafting it is something that I keep on saying. I've said in very many different times. There was a lot of involvement from friends who were in my life and who are still in my life, just saying, how do we do this, of course, to move it to another level. So Bold Network Africa was born, and we're here now. Launched it like 2-3 weeks ago online, but of course the works were going on. There's a beautiful campaign which has just ended this weekend, and now we're going to the next steps of still telling stories. Yeah,
Wow,
so pretty
that's
much.
amazing.
I find it very. I never thought of this, but you just mentioned that the story being told has always been from another person's perspective. And so, therefore, you probably find that the story being told normally has a little bit of a negative connotation to it. And I think what you're trying to do is take it and give it give the positive area of, like you mentioned, queer people, or just the whole community and in general of people who identify differently.
With the decency that we queer people actually deserve.
Right. And I know, let me dial you back to, and I remember this, you mentioned it, I remember your car, your white car, it was a white car. It was spray painted, I remember that. And I just want to ask you, how was this, because like you said, this is not your story. Somebody else has told it, and they've told it the way they want, right? How did your friends, your close friends and family take that? Did people sympathize with you, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry this happened? Or people are like, oh, like in just our African setting, really, how did your friends and family react to that?
Like I keep on saying, it was a balance of, both love and hate. At that particular point, I keep on saying that was a chapter in my life, in my book, to just say there was a shift that happened, because at that particular point, my eyes were open to the reality of people who are going to hold you down and hold you down,
Right.
and other people who are now going to see you from a very different point of view,
Right.
and start treating you different. And of course, it happened across the board. It happened with family, it happened with friends. So like it was an extremely painful situation, It's not anything that I will wish on anyone,
I know.
Especially the cyberbullying that happens on social media is one thing that we really need to talk about, and hope that people can get out of, all the pain and hate that people are dealing with, because it was crazy. Every single time I think about it, like it's traumatic, to be fair. It was a very, very painful moment, but when I think about it right now, changed all that pain into power, and now there's a beautiful story. There's people who are going to be helped, through that. So painful, but right now, power.
Yes, power.
And we talked about cyberbullying once
We
on
did.
one of our podcasts. And one thing I came to realize about cyberbullying, a lot of times the negative things that are thrown out towards someone else, sometimes they're really a reflection of someone's insecurities from within. And that's another awareness that we try and throw out all the time, that when someone throws out it, and it's hard to ignore so many negative things coming towards a person, but most of the time it's usually just a reflection of someone's insecurities, and confidence is
it's so true. I want to read a comment here by Pablo Zengu, and then I'll talk about something. The comment says, power to McKenna for this initiative. And then he says, it's like how men try to discuss women issues in the absence of women, or women discuss men issues in the absence of men. Relation and identification matters. It's true. There's something that again, I keep remembering things as the topic
conversation.
And there's something that I saw somewhere. I don't know if I sent it to you. No, maybe I didn't send it to you, but I saw somewhere in on social media, and you had bought one of your friends, like it was their birthday or something, and you were you went all, I know you're extra, so you went all out, and some men were like, oh, look at McKenna buying this for whoever. And I was like, my friend, just because you don't have money, don't be angry. Like, they're like, why is she buying whoever this many gifts? I'm just like, friend. And it's true. A lot of those comments were not you. They were the gifts you are buying. Oh, she has so much money. She's showing off money. I was like, these people are bitter about the wrong things. They don't understand. You know what I mean? And I really, I like Pablo's comment on that. It's people who
lost her briefly.
No.
Let me get her back online. I think we had a connection issue.
But as you do that,
Yep.
Yeah, it's ringing. Is it ringing all the way to the microphone?
Yep. And there's something else Ali said as well on the comment section, that there's some Bantu languages and stuff that don't have gender-based pronouns.
Oh, that have gender-based pronouns.
That don't.
That don't?
Yeah.
Oh. I did not know that. Let me go back to that comment as you try to call. I'm sorry for the technical hitch. Look at
It looks like we had a slight connection issue there.
That's no problem.
Yep.
I see Ali here. I'm trying to go to that comment. Ali said, hey, what's it?
It was an older comment.
Yeah, I see it. He said, fun fact, did you guys know that most, if not all Bantu languages do not have gender-based pronouns? The issue of gender pronouns is an English and Latin language problem. Interesting. He also said, start with Kiswahili and think of any Bantu language you may know, and then figure out if there are any gender-based pronouns. That is very interesting. Fun. Ignorance, I like. Many just need to sit down and educate themselves. I think we lost you.
We're back now.
Yep.
Yeah. But did you hear most of what I was saying in that...
no, you said, I bought, what did I buy?
Oh, yeah. It was one of your friends, I think, birthday or something like that. And you went all out. And I was saying, I know you're extra. So you went all out. And, it's just celebrating somebody. And most of the people in the comments were men. And the problem was not with you and whoever. It was, so she's buying these things. Kwani she thinks it was a money problem. I was like, friend, why? You know what I mean? And I think I saw that comment. I was like, Kenya people are bitter for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just crazy to me.
We like digress in the Lord, and that's why I'm saying every single time there's hate mail, you can easily know what someone's insecurities are.
That's true.
Because if your first attack to me is why would you do that? It just means that those are your insecurities because you can't do them. You think that now that's where you can hate.
You're projecting.
Yeah.
That's
But if you wear a dope shirt and you want to hate on my shirt, it means that you actually just want a dope shirt. Just get a dope shirt.
You know what's funny? My mom told me this when I was growing up. She said, every time you look at somebody and you like their dress or their shirt, if you say it, imagine you won't have that feeling, but if you don't say it, you'll have that nyongo in your shingo. You'll be like,
really?
Anaringa nayo. Imagine. So I learned to say, nice shirt. Imagine, and as soon as it goes, imetoka. But if you're thinking, they look good, anajiringa, it builds up jealousy in you. So you're so right on saying that. You're so right.
So I wanted to find out, people say vitu kwa ground ni different,
Yeah.
And in America there's still a lot of work to be done, but I feel like there's a lot more acceptance.
Yeah.
In Kenya, and I don't know if you got my first experience of when I first experienced, I think from what I saw was either a cross-dresser or maybe there were transgenders. But how are things in Kenya now? Like, what challenges are being faced? How can people help with those challenges?
I think I usually say the people before me did their best. Right now, we're trying to do our best to keep on accelerating acceptance. So, of course, the issues are there. Of course, the lack of, I keep on saying it's lack of education and information that has gotten us to where we are.
Yeah.
Even just without looking at it from gay people or the queer community, in general, lack of education is what gets us to make slow decisions as Africans. And when we think about it, it's about how can we be able to educate society in a way that will create acceptance without there being a lot of friction. So for sure, the work has been done before me. And I appreciate everybody who's done the work. I appreciate organizations that have been there before me. The work is still being done right now with Bold Network Africa. That's what we're trying to do, and try and do it in a different way. The work is not going to end with me. The work is still going to continue being done. So I will say I don't even initially measure. I don't say this is where we're at or this is what is happening. But I usually say we are better than a minute before this time. We are better than yesterday. And tomorrow is going to be a better day compared to 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago. Because every single day, when I see hate mail, it doesn't bother me. When I see conversion, when I see someone say, because of you, I've been able to look at my child different. for me, that's progress.
Nice.
Everybody else who's hating at one particular point is going to cross over to the other side. So the work is being done, and we're going to keep on doing it, and there's no fear. We're bold. We're out here.
That is very good. Oh my God. Somebody on YouTube said, Susan Miles said, where? But McKenna is beautiful and so well spoken. I don't think she's heard you talk before, but that's really sweet. Thank you, Susan. McKenna, I wanted to ask you this. Now, if there's somebody, and I know a few people who are still fighting with coming out, right? Like, it's hard back home, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know if your parents are going to accept you, and this is just who you are. Like, what advice would you give a younger person who's looking up to you like, shit, I hope I had your balls? You know what I mean? Like, I can't speak like that about my life, but they would like to. I know you get a lot of DMs, but like, what would you tell this young person?
Yeah. First, I will say I have an inside joke that I always make with a friend, which is called "You must have balls of whale." Do you know whales? Okay, this one you need to look up.
Okay.
Whales, their balls is like, I don't know, 1 ton. So first you need to have balls of whale for you to be able to say. Yeah, you need to check it out. Anyway, I always say the journey of someone coming out. First and foremost, there is nobody who has held a stick to tell you need to come out. Coming out is a personal decision. For me, I was not even given the opportunity to decide if I wanted to come out or not. People outed me. There are people who are going to live their whole life without coming out, but are they happy? Yes. There are people who will feel that for them to be able to express themselves, to be present, they need to come out at your own time. I get very many people in my DM saying, I wish I could be able to speak about it this boldly. All that I read from that is that it's not your time. But when the time comes, your DM is going to change and you're going to be like, boom, you know what? Yeah. I felt it. At this particular point, the energy was right. I knew this is what I needed to do. And it made me feel good. I'm out.
Nice.
You know, or not. You know, there's really no guidebook. You know, and I even usually say, even us in the community, I always say we need to check ourselves because there's a lot of pressure from within the community for people to feel, oh, you are less of if you do not come out. Oh, even us in the community, we have work to do to make sure that your journey is not supposed to be replicated in someone else's life. You know, let everybody live their life how they want to live it. If you want to come out, come out. If you don't want to come out, cool. Whenever it's ready, you're going to feel it.
And you're right. It's none of my business who you're sleeping with. Really, because it's none of my business, you know. You don't care who I'm sleeping with, so it shouldn't be my business, you know. And I totally feel that
there's a question here by our audience, Keja Graphics. He's asking, what is your experience with the older generation, religious leaders and corporates, especially when it comes to working with and around them?
Yeah. So there's a lot of work that I have been doing, and of course through Bold Network Africa. So I'm going to answer that in different parts. So the older generation. So there are others who have said no. You know, they go right into the Bible and say no. You can't be gay. It's not in the Bible. You know, it's wrong. That's them. What we're trying to do is tell them this is how you're looking at it. You're being selfish because you're only looking at it from your point of view. You're not thinking about that son that you have, the daughter that you have, the nephew, then, you know, all those people. What if they've made a choice and this is how they feel it's supposed to be? You know, you can't just constantly put your foot down and say, no. We've been going through centuries of different revolutions. You can't decide that this is the time that you're going to be the one who's just constantly going to be, you know, shutting people down. When it comes to religious leaders, I usually say, I go back to the same Bible because I'm a Christian. And I say, in the Bible, we are taught to love one another. It does not say, into brackets, hate this person or this person or this person. Yeah. The general rule is love. Love. So I always go back to them with that. You know, when it comes to politicians, I mean, Kenya is becoming woke, you know. I've seen a couple of politicians who've gone out and said, you know what? These people need to be left alone. I support them. I don't see a problem. So things are changing. Like I keep on saying, the vibe is right, the time is right, and everything is gonna work out for sure.
Yeah. Just with time. It just takes time.
And I think it's very nice to hear you say that Kenya is changing, because the perception that we have is like, guy, vitu ni mbaya home. You see what I mean? Like, it's nice for me here personally to hear that Kenya is changing. It's kind of encouraging, because I mean, our people can, honestly, we have really, really smart people in our country. Like, you can't have one thing drag you all down. So it's really encouraging to hear that Kenya is changing.
And
And for you to see that it's changing, go onto Instagram right now. If you have a phone, write Bold Network Africa. Go and look at the dope campaign that we've been running.
Nice.
If you have a phone, go write www.boldnetworkafrica.com. Look at the website. Look at the things that we're doing. I mean, it's people back in America, people back in in Europe, everybody who's Kenyan who is thinking that home things are crazy. No, get in touch with what is happening at home, and actually you're gonna see that we are doing the work. And of course, we need your help. We need your help. You are out there, and it's for you to actually say no, guys. Actually, let's look and support what Bold Network Africa is trying to do, or let's just move the conversations around. Because when a story keeps on being moved around, then it accelerates the process of the story being told.
True.
Yeah,
that's very good.
Yeah, and there's something you said that's very interesting. The expectations of people. I never thought about it like in my mind, because obviously I am looking at it from the outside. I think that, if someone has not come out, what are they waiting for? They're just not. But, and again, it kind of goes with what Ida was saying a little bit ago. It's none of anyone's business. But it's also, I think it's a deeper layer than that, as opposed to just saying who you sleep with.
Yeah,
right?
It's even just how you
It's just who you are. When you go and you do what you're doing in your social time, in your social circles, in your life in general, who is anyone to dictate how someone should live their life or what they should do? As long as it's not harming somebody and it's not a crime, and again also a crime not defined by a legal standards of any country, but just a crime defined morally. As long as it's not immoral, I don't think it's anyone's business.
That's true. And McKenna, let me throw.
Think about it. Like, why would love be a crime? Sometimes I really question humanity. I'm like, why will someone be behind the bars because of who they choose to love? Man.
True. Yeah. I was as somebody said, it's not about sex, and it is true, because we were talking about we know this family. There's they have twin kids, and one of the kids was born.
They were both born male.
They were both born male, but one of them from a very young age said, "Hey, I am a girl. I don't know why you guys keep calling me boy. I am a girl. I am a girl." But the one thing I found very, I don't know, like, if it was me, maybe I don't even know how I would have handled it, is the way the parents have. They love this child regardless. They treat the child the way the child wants to be treated. The child is how old now?
Probably 10.
Yeah.
Around 10 years old. And it's not like the child started yesterday. It's been years of this. Because you can't say we were talking about it, you can't say it's really about sex. It's not, because explain this young kid who says, why are you guys calling me?
At the age of 3 or 4 saying...
Why do you call me boy?
She's not
I'm
a man.
girl.
Yeah.
And wants the hair long and dressed a certain way. So it really isn't about sex. And if, as a parent, if your child is 3 or 4 and they say, I am not, like open up your mind. Honestly, this child has nothing to do with sex. They don't even, their reproductive organs are not even active enough to be, you know what I mean? Like,
your gender identity is completely separate from sex.
True.
Yeah.
True.
How you identify is completely separate.
Yeah, I have a question that Akinya Boge has just posed. She said, I have a question, McKenna. Will you have time for call-ins? I think she wants to call into the program, and Akinya is one of our biggest fans. She's our number one fan, I wouldn't lie. She wants to make a call, and if you have a minute, we could take her call.
That's dope. That's dope. Yes, you can.
We can't. Okay, so no.
Okay, so our technology has not evolved to the point where I can do a FaceTime and a call at the same time. But Akini, if you want, you can email us the question or you can type it in the comments. We'll be more than happy to ask that question.
Yeah.
I apologize, but our podcast is still growing and we will one day be able to do all these fancy things on here.
FaceTime. McKenna, I wanted to say, crap, I forgot. Oh, no, wait. Somebody said, I think the biggest argument in society today is, are people born gay? How would you answer that?
I usually say that's a very, very ambiguous, question, and it really has no right or wrong answer. I wouldn't say people are born gay. There are people who decide their journey as they're growing. There are people who feel that that's how they were born. So really, it's very ambiguous. And to even say that it's an argument already just shows me that people are not woke to education and to actually learning and reading about, human beings and all those different things. So
Right.
for me, it's really not an argument. Yeah.
It's not an argument. It should not be an argument because we're not arguing. There's no right or wrong. That's pretty good.
No.
And if you're
No.
watching right now and you have any questions for McKenna, please make sure you follow Bold Network Africa. She's going to be able, I mean, it's a whole platform. I'm sure you have some help because I know it's a big platform, but it would be nice if you reach out to her and some questions, and even just for your own understanding. Like Sunny said, some of us, we just don't know because we don't know. We've never been exposed to it. But right now, when you wake up and you learn, it's like, it's like we were talking about. It's so cool when somebody says, oh, I have a gay best friend. But then you're now, if they decide, oh, this is the guy I'm dating, now you're weird about it. You know what I mean? So it's just because we don't know, we don't know.
There's a question by Pablo, who is based here in the US. Is Bold Africa Network looking at sponsoring legislation that seek to protect LGBT community?
Bold Network Africa is not looking at sponsoring. What our main agenda is storytelling. So and advocacy through many different ways. So in whatever we do, it's really a lot of storytelling. So no. The answer is no. We're not sponsoring any legislation.
Yeah. If anything, at this point, if you feel like cash up, you send money to Bold Africa, for Bold Network Africa. Send money, Pablo. Send some T-shirts or something like that.
But I understand Pablo's point of view. Pablo is an attorney by profession.
He is an attorney.
So.
It's good connections you're making, and I know Pablo will come and follow you.
You can link us up after this.
Yeah. Pablo is a great person. We're so blessed to have him, quite honestly. And you guys will make a really good team. Like, in terms of what you guys are talking about, he's the guy with the, mtaskizana vizuri. And I see a lot of, it's a plug, yeah. Wait, it is hot. I see a lot of people commenting saying this is such a good conversation. A lot of people are very appreciative of this talk because, like I said, watu ni kujua hawajui.
Yeah.
And it's really, really nice. People are like, oh, I'm so proud of you. We're just seeing a lot of love. This is awesome. Education is key. I am surrounded by, somebody said, I'm surrounded by gay BFFs. I love my buddies so much. And that's amazing. That's really, really amazing. I see a comment by Ali Badawi. He said, fun fact, all the anti-LGBT laws in the penal code were inherited from British colonial statutes. Before they get repealed. Yeah, it is important for stakeholders to first understand this.
There's a question for you real quick, and I think after this question we'll probably wrap the interview up. My question from Makena Bogi. My question is as follows: I recently came out as bisexual, but the hurdle I face is people telling me I need to make a choice.
What?
You have to choose. I don't believe that I should. Do you have any advice for me? First of all, big ups on the whale balls.
I know.
For putting the comment out there.
Balls of whale.
Balls of whale. We'll start using that expression more and more.
I know. Balls of whale.
Yep. But what would you have to say to Akini?
I think I will say, don't be afraid of who you identify as, because you are the one who decides how people are going to view you. If you wake up today and you feel your identity, or not even feel, you know that you are bisexual, it is fine. And people need to know that that's your boundary and you owe no one any explanation.
Yes.
You only need to find your tribe. You need to find your tribe in the people that love you. You need to find your tribe in friends, the friends around you, because they're the ones who are going to respect you for who you are and how you identify. And I usually say the queer community is one of the, I'm proud to be a gay person because our community is extremely accepting and fluid, most of us, because that's the place where you do not get any judgment. You wake up in the morning and someone says they started off as a lesbian, identifying as a lesbian, but over time they've decided that they're trans because they've gotten to a point and you're accepted, So I keep on saying you do not need to explain yourself and your identity to anyone else. As long as you've looked at the mirror and you say, this is who I am, this is how I want to be loved, this is how I want to love. Honestly, balls of whale out there. Honestly, just do you.
Yes.
Do you. And that's why we have the big B in LGBTQ plus
Yes.
IA. The B is yours. You're bisexual. Come on, rock it.
Nice. Let's do this. I'm
Yeah.
seeing somebody said it's find your tribe for me. She's happy with that statement.
Yep.
I saw somebody
That's
else
what's up.
on YouTube said, Caroline Kavita said, McKenna, you're our pride. And I think that's really nice. I love that. And somebody else said, thank you, McKenna, for staying bold for all of us. So please keep doing what you're doing. Quite honestly, I know a lot of people who identify different in Kenya, and we're friends, but nobody has the balls of Wales to talk about them this way. And so we're so
I'm gonna
glad.
trademark this statement.
Itabidi uweke hashtag balls of Wales trademark McKenna, because tuwakaribu kuiabuse. But I just want to say thank you for doing
Yeah,
it.
trademark.
A trademark.
Yeah.
Alafu, Pablo Nzengu said he actually already follows you, and you follow Nyumbani Swag. Nyumbani Swag is his baby. So plug connected right there. So I was like, yeah, cool. It works out. And
Awesome. I'm gonna DM you after this.
nice.
And honestly, I never end my interviews without saying I love everyone back who gives me strength every single day through comments, through personal messages,
Yeah.
through moments like this when we're live, just saying, you know what, we are proud of you. You give me strength. I keep on saying the
Yeah.
journey is not easy. Sometimes we feel weak. Sometimes we feel like we can't be able to go on. But when you look at the people behind you, just saying, we got you, just step out there, we got you. Honestly, I have all the love, to give to you guys today. I love you all.
Love you.
And thank you. And I hope everybody's having a dope Pride Month
Wait,
from wherever
wait.
you're watching.
Before you go, we have a question that, everybody asks this question. They said, hey, McKenna, are you dating? Wacha nikwambie umbea ndio tumeanza. Are you dating?
Sasa
Question.
hii swali ya dating ndio inaanza kuleta shida ya watu kuacha. We are here to talk about Bold Network Africa.
It's true. So mind your business. Mind your business.
My dating life is usually really out there when I want it to be out there, but at the moment I'm really keeping it on the low.
Okay.
Just because it is what it is. It's my own business, and yeah.
Na pia mwenye anauliza, maybe anauliza aone kama ata shoot short. You never know. So it is what it is.
Kila mtu ako na opportunity kwa hii dunia ya shoot short.
Equal opportunity.
Kama hiyo short itakubalika upande hiyo ingine or not.
I said, don't let my boyfriend or my girlfriend stop you. Shoot your shot, my friend. We love you. I love you so
Asante
much.
sana.
Thank
you so much for being here with us. And as always, I think we, along with our audience, we got to really learn a lot. We appreciate the few gems that you were able to throw our way today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Don't
Keep
forget
on
to
pushing
follow.
all the love.
Tell
Thank
us your
you.
social media handles just before you leave, and that will be the last thing. And your personal and Bold Network as well.
So my personal is at McKenna Jerry on Instagram, on Twitter as well. Then Bold Network Africa on Instagram and on Twitter as well. Yeah, I think
Nice.
that's it. So McKenna Jerry, then Bold Network Africa.
Very
There you go.
nice.
Before you go, cheers.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Umemaliza.
Cheers, love. Mwah. Good night. Lala salama. Tunashukuru.
Sawa. Take care, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Wasn't that refreshing?
Very refreshing.
Plus
Very
it's
refreshing.
hot in here.
I think Nita.
Nita, ita naona usiambie watu tunatumia taa. Even though tunakaanga live. Wasn't that really refreshing? I like what she did there, like, and how she grew all the hate into like fruits to build something on. Love it. I'm so humbled.
And the one thing she said is, build your tribe. Know who's there, who's with you, know who's against you.
Yeah.
Not really against you, but who's not in line with your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that goes with anything you do in life. You have your tribe, you have your people who you'll root with.
People are rooting
not
for you
people
always.
who root for you only, but you root for them. It's a two-way street, and that goes with everything that we do. And you guys tuning in right now, you guys are our tribe here, because you guys come in and support us all the time. So I really appreciate that.
It's amazing. Shout out to Akinya Boge, sis. Yani nini nenda hivi ati we are going live poop Akinya Boge ni kama kwa hapa kwa hii room. Anyway, we love you, ma. We love you. Tunashukuru sana. But I think something that I got from, and it gave me so much comfort from McKenna, was that Africa is not asleep. Kenya is not asleep. And I know we did a lot of research and we thought, man, Aki, what's happening back home? Like, why are these people not why are these people not woke? But speaking to her, I felt so much more comfort that, like we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. And in Africa in general, just speaking about how the LGBTQ community in Africa and how it was all perceived, turns out that a lot of Africa seems to think that this is a un-African thing to do.
Yeah.
Like it was brought by Westerners when Africa was colonized and all that. So I have a quick fact here, right?
Fact check.
A quick fact. There's 72 countries in the world that criminalize homosexuality. 32 of those countries are in Africa. Now, hold that piece of information and get this. 93% of sub-Saharan Africa is religious, either Christian or Muslim. It is 63% Christian and 30% Muslim. So Africa as a whole is the most religious continent in the world. Most religious. This religion that is in Africa, and I'm not making this about religion, but I'm just throwing this out there, is not Africa's native religion. It's religion that was brought in by the Western man or woman or Western person. We're not
I like how careful he was on that one.
We're not putting any genders over here.
You caught yourself. You're like, wait.
I caught myself. I was like, wait, we just talked about this. So then it is religion that is banning or criminalizing or making homosexuality, being bisexual, being transgender, making this a negative thing.
What you're saying is, if we pull out Christianity,
or
this
Islam,
will be just fine. Or Islam, religion as a whole.
Honestly, there's some level of evidence in African history that before colonization, before religion, or rather Christianity and Islam, because I think there was religion in Africa regardless before Christianity and Islam was brought. Before Christianity was brought to Africa, that homosexuality or lesbians, bisexuals, gays, transgenders, queers existed in Africa and were widely accepted prior to
religion
being brought. And there's a lot of historical facts about it. Everyone is welcome to go do their own research. I did some. I'm not going to dive into it too much with respect of time. However, it is a fact that it seems like, from my research, it seems like something that is there.
Yeah, awesome. I see a lot of people also, and today we had a lot of audience from our YouTube, which is kind of amazing and fantastic. I see somebody said, watching from Miss Lee with love. Hi, name is Miss Lee, by the way. I wanted to we were going to talk about the battles that Africans face. Did you want to jump into that?
Oh, not necessarily Africans, but the LGBTQ community faces.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yep. And we have to realize that because they are a different group of people that are not widely accepted, there's a couple of things that happen with them. One is violence. There's a lot of hate crime. There's a lot of hate. People are being murdered. People are being beaten. So they face that, and I think that is still something that's going on widely all over the world. It's not just an African problem or an American problem. The other thing is parenting.
It's parenting, yeah. We talked about this, Sunny, and you may help give more information. That you find that in some states, if you're trying to adopt a child, for example, and we are the same gender, that they require another third party to prove that we are going to be able to take up this child. I think you'd read more about that.
There's a little bit more red tape that you have to go through as a same-sex couple to adopt a child than a traditional heterosexual couple. And that is discrimination to some extent.
Because if we came in and we're like, we just want to adopt a child and it's a man and a woman who identify as male and female, they'll be okay with that. But if you identify differently, they need more proof, or they need a third party to say, and it is discrimination. So in that aspect, these people have a harder we call it experience in adopting
trying to
or trying to
adopt.
have a child,
Yeah.
like stuff like that.
The third thing that I came to find out is only banned in 8 states. So that means it's legal in all the other states in the US, is gay conversion therapy. So when a child or someone identifies as and comes out, says I'm gay, they're sent to therapy to reverse
Their
that,
way of thinking.
Their way of thinking. And it can be pretty intense. So I heard this story, true story, that a co-worker of someone I know was telling. And they were saying that their 16-year-old daughter just came out as bisexual, told her mother she's bisexual. And so the mother is telling this story and saying she went into her daughter's room and she found all these posters and magazines about pride and about women and all these things, and she tore them all out, and she told her, no, we are not that kind of a family, we're not going to do that,
We're Christians.
this is not us, you know. And the daughter started retaliating and, you know, did all these, you know, cut her hair, did this. And so one of the other co-workers that was in that conversation said, no, you shouldn't do that. I'll give you an example of my own brother, who came out as gay. He was top student, great at everything. Like, he was a great kid, all round perfect person. And when he came out as gay, because the family didn't accept and they kept trying to push him into not being who he felt comfortable being, he is now turned into drugs, crime, like his life, he's dropped out of school, his life turned completely upside down. And sometimes all it takes is a little bit of acceptance. Now, there could be a child out there that comes out and can openly tell their parent, hey, I feel this way, or I am this way, or whatever, I feel comfortable this way. Imagine if the parents just accept it, or the community, the friends, the family accept that. Then this person can thrive in life in all other things, as opposed to suddenly at a young age or at a thriving age, just suddenly feel like no one accepts them and can take a downward turn. June made a valid point when we were talking about this, saying by taking out all those posters and making it look like you're not this person, you, the parent, are mad. The kid is mad. Everyone is no one is happy. And what did it accomplish in the long run?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that this child is gonna stop identifying that way.
Yeah.
So what? At the end of the day, things just got worse, and all you had to do was just give a little bit of love.
That's true.
You know.
That's right. And on speaking of this as well, we found that another challenge that this LGBTQ community faces largely is the bathroom, school, and other public accommodations.
Yeah.
Remember, there was this time where they were saying, hey, let's make separate bathrooms for people who identify differently. And in different states, that talk went upside down.
Yeah.
But imagine if you look like me, but you identify as male, where am I supposed to go to the bathroom? Because if I go into the female's bathroom, if I go into the, and that's another challenge that I know in the States they're still trying to work around and accommodate. But it is a challenge that they face if we have to acknowledge that.
Fern just said a perfect example of parents being their kids' bullies.
Their kids, that's so
I never
true.
thought of it. Wow. Ali Badawi, DJ Sunny, I think it's important to be clear on where criminalization of being gay in sub-Saharan Africa came from. Religion doesn't have legislative power. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but what we're saying is religion, a lot of Africans mostly just die. Everything is about religion, and that's the biggest. If you do some research, you'll see a lot of Christianities and whatever Muslims, they condemn this kind of talk, and that's where I think Sunny was coming from.
Another challenge is unequal healthcare.
Yeah.
So there's still
unequal healthcare insurance.
Healthcare insurance. There's still 37 states that can discriminate against being lesbian, gay, or part of that community, and with health insurance.
Yeah. And the big thing is acceptance. If we're not here to judge how you identify as, why should you be the judge? Why are you the pronoun police? Just, let people be who they want to be. Let people live their life they want to live their life. If your child comes out and says, this is how I feel, even if you're a Christian, the one command is love. So just give these people love. Give your child love. Whoever is around you and you feel some type of way, this is not your problem to fix. It is not a problem to begin with. So please just stay woke.
Yep.
I've never used that word so
Stay
much.
woke.
Stay woke.
And
Stay
guys,
woke.
once again, thank you very much for tuning in to our podcast.
Yes.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Sunday Wind Down. And our email is sundaywdpodcast@gmail.com. We have some music.
We got some music.
And I have a song called Rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
This song was sent to me by Tommy1622. And they didn't send me any YouTube links or anything of that nature, but I do have 2 songs by them.
So we'll play
so I'm going to play Rendezvous, and here it is. I think.
Sun shining on a Sunday afternoon. Sun shining bright, girl. Feeling alright, chillaxing, girl. Sun the breeze top down while cruising. On a Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, alright, yeah, cruising, I see ya. All the guys wanna love ya, all the girls wanna be ya. I'm the one that you're with though. The sun's out on a Sunday, so mimosas will sit slow. If you like the idea, we can cruise in the car when we're done, throw the top down. And don't look at me like that when I say that top down. Communicate in ways where we won't need to talk loud. Just look at me and know that you are with me right now. Because we met up where I said to meet. 2 mimosas with your name on it, girl, just like your seat. You enjoy the drinks and me, you know my butt, I love to eat. I had you cracking up and laughing so you couldn't speak. We put the top down on the Jeep so we can feel the breeze. A gentleman is humble, never thinking it'd be easy. Easy, mommy, this is more than a date. Don't kiss me before I can put a big one right on your face. Look.
Mommy, today's all about me and you. Mommy, today's all about you, girl. Sun shining on a Sunday afternoon. Sun shining bright, girl. Feeling alright, chillaxing.
Ironically, it is Sunday afternoon.
Top down while cruising. On a Sunday rendezvous.
Say, babe, I like that wind in your hair.
Anyway, that
really
was
nice.
Rendezvous. It's the Vibe EP, Tommy1622. The other song from there is called Don't Walk By. And here it is.
Girl, don't just walk on by. I'd like to say hi. Come on over. I wanna get to know ya. Don't walk by. I'd like to say hi. Come on over. I wanna get to know ya. Yeah, hey girl, come over. I'm not biting, I'm just saying hi. But now I'm seeing something special, I'm not saying bye. Let's go do something, I'm not buying, I'm just saying this. Cause I don't wanna be misjudged when I go in for the. We're both thinking that this is better than what we've ever had. Those old times make us who we are, yeah, I don't think we're bad. We have a lot of common ground and that just makes this easy. I feel it's love at first sight, but you think it's cheesy. I'm not from Pittsburgh, I'm no Steelers, it's no black and yellow. Yeah, we from Dallas, we some cowboys, come and tell us hello. I might say howdy, might say y'all so I can see you smile. And don't walk by ya, don't be shy, yeah, you should stay a while. Maybe you like our conversation, so you stay a minute. I dig your style and your confidence, I'm kinda with it. These other dudes that try to get you, they don't really get it. So when I said I kinda liked you, no, I really meant it. Girl, don't just walk on by. I'd like to say hi. Come on over. Come on. I wanna get to know ya. Yeah. Don't walk by. Don't just walk on by. I'd like to say hi.
Yo, this is Kenyan. You won't tell me this is Kenyan music. Like hey, that's good music. Where the production, the whole team, the voice, the talent.
It was pretty good. I think it is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And guys, don't forget to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts at Sunday Wind Down. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you in 2 weeks for the next one. Aida.
Yeah. Yo, happy Pride. Sunday Wind Down is happy and pride. You know the slogan, Sunny? Say it loud, gay is proud. And we're here for it. Mwah! Happy Pride.
Thanks, guys.
Sunday wind down, Ida with the voice on the speaker, Sunny on the mic and it's all round. Conversations are bigger, so fill my cup, fill my cup. I'm already tuned in all the way up, all the way up. Can't stop listening now. Sunday wind down, yes you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening, yes you know I'm listening. Sunday wind down, yes you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening, yes you know I'm listening, yeah. I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay. Working from Monday to Sunday, 7 o'clock till I'm worn out. Hustle, I can make an anthem.